Hey guys, it's still Sunday, October the 3rd. Like I said, 3 rigs in one day. So this one right here, I'm gonna go ahead and warn you, it's not finished. You're looking at an unfinished rig. The story behind this one is pretty intense. I'll let Lainey tell the story, but here is her bus, Fenix, because out of the ashes she rises, and that is so powerful. You'll understand here in just a little bit, but let's take a look at Lainey's bus, Fenix. Knock, knock.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, you want to show us your rig?
I do. Come on in.
So again, like I said, Lainey's rig is not finished here, but she has a really powerful, I don't know if you would say, I think it's cool post, but it's kind of scary. Like, we'll just let her tell. You want to tell us what happened?
Yeah, so March 31st of 2021, this year, I was leaving Slab City with a friend of mine, and I was taking him up to Oregon. And we got about 20 minutes outside of Slab City, so pretty close to Bombay Beach in California. And we started smelling smoke. And I looked out my side mirror and I saw flames shooting out of my refrigerator. Where, you know, on RVs, it was a Class C RV. On RVs, there's a access door to the refrigerator on the outside. And I saw flames shooting out of there. So I ditched the RV off the side of the road, and my friend Dave, he grabbed my wallet and he threw it out, and then he said, "Where's the fire extinguisher?" And he started trying to fight it with a fire extinguisher. A truck driver stopped with a fire extinguisher. We were trying to pour water on it, but by then it had gotten into the walls. And the story is really crazy, but I had 2 dogs at the time. Now I have 3, but at the time I only had 2. One of them got out. The other one I had to go back into the burning RV. In fact, my shoes even melted trying to find my dog. And I found him underneath the passenger seat, and the doors were all open, so I just kind of threw him out. And within 20 minutes, my RV had burned to the ground. It was a pile of ash. And I, of course, being a YouTuber, I videoed the whole thing. So I've given Chris permission to put the clips from that.
So we have here, you guys are, I'm sure you're very curious. Here's you some clips of this RV burning to the ground.
Everything I own is going. It's gonna hit the propane. It's gonna explode. This is my house. It's everything I own in the world. It's gone.
I guess a pilot.
All that's left of Lulu. Everything's gone.
So how did that, describe it to us? How does that feel?
Well, considering I've been on the road at that time 3.5 years, every single thing I own, everything. I'm a musician, so all my musical instruments. I'm an artist, so all my finished canvases and all my art supplies. I'm a writer, and so my computer, my cameras, all my video equipment for my YouTube channel, not to mention everything that I own. Dishes, clothes, dog stuff, towels, sheets, everything gone in 20 minutes. I was devastated. I mean, who wouldn't be, right? But, you know, I had been asking the universe for a long time for a bus, and I thought I wanted a schoolie. And here I have a bus. So what happened was I called my husband. He and I were estranged at the time. We're back together now. It's funny how tragedy does things like that, right? But I'd called him and he put the word out on social media what was going on. There was this awesome couple. Their YouTube channel is Finding Our Someday. They saw what was happening. They stopped. They travel with a fifth wheel, I think, and their 2 children. They stopped and took my dogs. Their daughters babysat my dogs while this was all going on. We were waiting on the fire department. Those people were incredible, and they put the word out. And one of my friends started a GoFundMe, and within, I don't know, 2 weeks or less, I had like 14 grand. I couldn't believe it. I was totally shocked.
That's amazing.
I know the nomad community is amazing. Not to mention my family and friends back in Washington, D.C. And yeah, so on April 9th, oh, let me tell you this. This is really cool. So I had gotten a ride to Fresno, California, and I was staying in like a ghetto Motel 6, not a good neighborhood because I didn't know anything about Fresno when I booked the motel. And one of my YouTube subscribers saw that I was in Fresno, sent me an email and said, "Hey, I'm one of your subscribers. Love your channel. I live in Fresno and I'm not weird, I promise. Let me come take you to dinner, and if we hit it off, you can stay in one of my extra bedrooms until you get something to live in." And so she came over, we went to dinner, it was fabulous. And I stayed with her. She took me to see the bus. So the way I found out about this big behemoth is my nomad brother, Frank, sent me the ad, and it was in California in the Bay Area. And so my friend Cheryl that I was staying with, she and her friend, also now my friend Lola, drove me to the Bay Area. They were asking, I think originally $12.5 for the bus, and they had marked it down to like 11 something. I walked away with the bus for $9,300.
Awesome.
Yeah. And needless to say, I had some work to do on the bus and then had to replace all the tires. So I haven't had the money to build out the bus completely because I also had to replace, you know, things like my underwear and my toothbrush and toothpaste and, you know, all of that stuff. And
all of the things that no one thinks of.
Right. Yeah. And I haven't replaced any of my musical equipment personally. Another subscriber brought me a keyboard, which is fabulous and I love it, but it needs power. My other keyboard was a full-size keyboard, but it could run off of D batteries, so that was awesome. So I haven't been able to play the piano much. Plus, I hurt my hand and just had surgery a couple days ago, so no piano playing. I haven't replaced my art supplies, and I'm living in this bus, no power, no refrigeration, no plumbing, but I love it. I absolutely love this bus. This is like a dream come true for me. And
it'll happen. It just takes time.
Yeah, it just takes time and it takes money. And so I've been in the bus, let's see, what's today? October 3rd. I've been in the bus since April 9th. I think I'm making pretty good progress.
So you want to tell about your reasoning for why you wanted the bus? Like we said earlier,
yeah,
everybody has their own different rigs and their own reasoning for why they want a certain rig. So, for instance, my van, I said there's very tight, small living quarters, but more room for my toys because I spend more time outside playing on my toys than I do in the rig. So why did you want a bus, and what were the things you told me earlier that you thought of earlier?
Yeah. Okay. So I have multiple sclerosis. There's about a 50-50 chance that one of these days I'll end up in a wheelchair. So I wanted to build out the bus so that in the event that I go into a wheelchair, it would be easily converted to wheelchair friendly. So as we look at the bus here in a minute, you'll notice that the aisles are wide in the kitchen area, and they will be when I get it finished also in the back of the bus. The doors to the bathroom are huge. The bathroom itself is huge, and I can easily put a walk-in shower and a wheelchair lift on the back. Plus, being a writer and a musician and an artist, there's a lot of times as nomads that there's inclement weather. So while I typically do a lot of my music and writing and art outside, when there's bad weather, I wanted enough space to be able to do my hobbies and the things that help me make a little extra income inside when the weather's bad.
Awesome.
So that's why the bus is perfect for me.
Awesome. Well, let's take a look at Phoenix. Let's see what you've got done and what your plans are for the future.
Okay, great. So this cabinet right here, by the way, the stain on the top of the cabinet is unicorn spit, and everybody that's seen it absolutely loves it.
So I'll let her give her explanation. Let me give mine. That way you can hear two different versions of what it is. Because you can't really describe this stuff until you play with it. In my opinion, it is basically a paint. It comes in a paint form, but it is water soluble, so you can dilute it to a stain all the way to the point of just a very, very fine stain. But because it's water soluble, if you don't like what you're doing, or if you want to blend it a little better, or however you work with it, you can change it. But once you get it solidified, or once you get it the way you want it, you can solidify it with
polyurethane, polyacrylic, stuff like that.
Do you want to say anything different about it, or did I nail it?
No, you nailed it.
Awesome.
And it comes in a plethora of colors.
So, like what I just tried to describe, so you can see the blending of the colors, and I'm assuming this took a lot of playing to get this the right color.
Oh, yeah. And you never know what you're going to get, you know, so it's just kind of a, I don't know, just a fun little thing to do. And once you get it where you like it, stop, because it'll never get there again. You'll have to just strip it all off and start over. But this is my sink cabinet, and I had envisioned a galvanized tub, wash tub as my sink. So since I'm not plumbed yet, we boil water on the stove and put it in here to wash dishes. That's how we do it. And this is my backsplash. And basically what I'm going to do is put a faucet in here that'll come down into the sink. That's the plan. I have cabinet doors for this right here, but they're over there actually.
You see them.
And I just have to have a way to attach them, because the guy who built this for me didn't realize I wanted cabinet doors, so he didn't leave space for hinges. And then this is a supposed to be pull-out pantry, which is stuck. Because the guy who built this for me, God love him, he didn't think about the fact that wood expands and contracts with moisture and heat and cold and stuff like that. So
as a builder, I myself knew this and tried to accommodate, and still have all kinds of issues. When you go from the coast where it's very wet, where your sheets feel damp, to here in Colorado, what we're looking at currently, where it's super dry air and everything shrinks, everything moves.
Plus you're driving an earthquake.
Right.
You know, this is basically an earthquake on wheels.
Yep,
Everything has to be secured. Like, we're getting ready to go to town today and move camp. And so all of this stuff that you see out will not be out when we move. That's just the way it is.
Right,
you can't do it. And then behind you, Chris, you can see my large collection of coolers.
Yep.
That's how we keep our groceries cold, because we don't have power.
Right. So you need a refrigerator bad, because I'm sure that gets expensive in ice.
Oh yeah, I spend $30 to $40. Well, in the summertime, $30 to $40 a month on ice. I'm sure in the winter, now that we're getting colder months, it won't be as bad.
Hey, Dometic, help her out. She needs a fridge. Send her one. Send her a fridge.
And solar. I have solar on the roof. I went to the Gutted event, and some of the pro guys there put the solar on my roof. But the batteries that were sold to me by another nomad couple ended up being bad. So I have no batteries, so I can't run my solar. So Battleborn, Renogy, love to have some batteries.
Absolutely.
Okay, so these seats here were in this bus before. Now, let me tell you about the bus. It is a 2004 International with the DT466 engine, which is like the million-mile engine. And the engine was rebuilt about 28,000 miles ago. So I'm really super stoked about that. I had to do a couple of things on it. Cost about $2,000 to fix that after I bought the bus. And then I had to put all new tires on it, of course.
Right.
And there's a few other little glitches, like the bay doors are broken and, you know, things like that. But they'll get fixed along the way. But I saved 2 sets of seats from the bus. This table was about that long. Came from Goodwill, and it's been cut down, and So I don't know if you can see these filthy tracks on the floor here, Chris, if you want to show them.
Yeah, I can see those.
But there's also tracks on the wall. And
Okay.
that's how the chairs for the bus were held in. So what we've done with all of the pieces that we put in is we've attached them into the tracks.
Awesome.
Either on the wall or on the floor or both. Now the table is attached into the track on the floor and on the wall.
I see that. And
So
to
it
show
doesn't
you
move.
guys, there's the hardware that she's talking about. So that is nice and solid. Can handle the earthquake every day.
But you know what else is cool about it? All you have to do is unscrew the bolts and you can move the table. And the chairs.
Okay.
Which I have done multiple times. They started out down here. But as I've rejigged my plans, because I bought an old stove.
Tell us about your stove. This thing is cool.
1930s, beautiful O'Keefe and Merritt stove. I just have to convert it to propane from natural gas, which I don't know how to do. So I got to either meet somebody who knows how to do it or figure it out myself. Don't know. But because the stove is so big, we had to rejig a bunch of the plans. So everything's been moved around a lot.
Well,
but
that's typical. Everything you originally think you want to do, sometimes you move. I will say, and I'm not just trying to brag, I think I just got lucky. Whenever I flipped the first van and had the opportunity to start over from scratch, the only thing I did was I raised my countertops 4 inches, added a plug, and did a few very minor inconvenience things. I touched those up, like my propane was not hard plumbed in. I had a rubber hose that went through my shower. I actually hard plumbed at that time. I did minor things, but other than that, same build. So most people move them around.
I in fact right now, which propane is what caused my fire, so I hate having propane in here, but I have one for my buddy heater because last night it was 37. This is our only source of heat in here. And then I have one for my Coleman cook stove so that we can actually, my husband cooks food. He's a chef. He's incredible. And he cooks food, amazing meals on this little thing. I can't believe it.
We gotta say bye. Jana's evidently pulling out. We can hear
the ambulance.
Yep, the ambulance is saying bye. Where's
the jambulance?
The jambulance is leaving.
But anyway, okay, and so then this right here, this was a credenza. It was originally this high.
Okay.
And it has these drawers and cabinets. What's cool about it is the drawers lock.
Awesome.
So when I'm going down the road, I can lock these drawers.
So how does the lock mechanism on them work?
There's a little key. And there's a lock right here, and it works for both sides.
Okay.
And then when we're ready to go, I pull this off, and I put it around the handles, and that keeps these from flying open. But they're magnetic.
I like the knobs, too.
Aren't they gorgeous?
Worlds.
Yeah.
Can we see those? Yeah, we can see those in there. I think it's focusing. Maybe not. We'll see.
But it didn't have any knobs on it at all. So, and I unicorn spit stained the whole thing. And then some guys built the top because it was too low. I mean, can you imagine cutting your vegetables like this, right? And my husband's 6 foot, so he needs a good prep space. So this, now, those of you who are familiar with Nomad Life and Nomad Center Camp know about the game Farkle. It is a game that we play in Nomad Center Camp at Nomad events all the time. It's a dice game. It's kind of like Yahtzee on crack. It's a lot of fun. So this top was a Farkle table that was donated to me from my friend Farkle Frank. And so they incorporated that into the build. And then, of course, I did the unicorn spit stain on this too.
Cool.
Now, this bed here, this is a new addition because Rico came and joined me. Rico's my husband, and I'll introduce you to him in a minute. He's out playing with the dogs. But because I needed surgery, because of all the trauma and drama I was going through, he came and joined me about a month ago and flew into Denver from Houston where he was living, and I picked him up. And I found this on Marketplace for free. Love Facebook Marketplace. Love free.
Awesome.
So put this together and put this in here. And so he's sleeping on the top bunk when we travel his guitars because he's an amazing musician. His guitar's right up there.
There's a few shorts on this channel. If you'll dig through the shorts, you can see these guys playing and singing. It's great.
Thank you. In fact, our channel, Rico's and I, our channel is the Busking Bohemians. And then he has his own music channel, which is Sofa King on YouTube, if you want more music.
Awesome.
But this is just a double air mattress, the tall air mattresses, and this is where I sleep, and this is where he sleeps. And then
which she said is, like we said, a lot of this is temporary, a lot of it is going to stay, but she has a pretty cool jack system in mind for later.
Yeah. So basically what's going to happen when I can get the money raised through either saving or working, you know, side jobs, selling art, doing busking, whatever, however I can raise it, we're going to put an elevator bed in. And so I've seen it on YouTube. I've seen it on Pinterest. I've talked to people who have elevator beds. I camped with a guy for about 3 months one time that had an elevator bed. And so what's going to happen is where you're standing right now, Chris, is going to be the refrigerator.
Okay.
When we finally get it. And then on the other side of the refrigerator is going to be my closet for my solar batteries and my charge controller and all of that stuff. And then from here, like right here, back is going to be bed space. So everything, like I'm going to build dog crates at 30 inches high, a desk, a piano stand, all at 30 inches high. On this side, there's going to be another dog crate and some shelving, all at 30 inches high. So the bed, it's going to be just a double bed. We'll crank up to here during the daytime. Rico will have to duck to get under it, but I won't.
So the bed that she's talking about, we've actually already seen in the Wonder Box. You remember this thing? So the way that that works, it's really cool. It's just an elevator system that tracks up.
And it cranks, you know.
She's talking about a hand crank one instead of the electric one like
Right.
you guys just watched, but it's the same concept.
I like the hand crank because of my industrial steampunk vibe.
Right, right.
My aesthetic is pretty much steampunk, hippie, and fusion. Hippie, the color, steampunk for all the metal stuff I'm eventually going to put in here.
Awesome.
And then, so when it's up, I'll be able to access my desk, my piano stand, whatever. And when it's down, that's for sleeping. I'll have stairs that'll go underneath the desk, slide out to get up in the bed at night.
Right.
And then I'll have another set of stairs in the bathroom in case I need to get out of the bed to go to the bathroom at night.
Right, right.
So, and they'll slide into the linen closet.
Okay.
So,
And then your plan for the bathroom back here?
Okay, so this is really cool. This bus had a bathroom. It was a limo bus that was used by a transport company to transport VIPs in the Bay Area. So it had a bathroom. Now, when I bought the bus, I bought it from a school, and they had ripped out the fixtures for the bathroom, but the plumbing is still in place. So I already have a place to put a toilet. I just need an RV toilet. And I already have freshwater tanks and a water fill. I have a black water tank and a dump. So
awesome.
It's just a matter of getting the stuff and putting it in. So these walls were built by some volunteers. The seats were all taken out by volunteers in Pahrump. Bob Wells invited me to go there. He was having a van build in April, and a bunch of volunteers came, and Bob didn't actually call me. I don't want y'all to think I'm name dropping here. A friend of Bob's reached out to me and said, come here. We've got a lot of volunteers working on Bob's stuff, and they want to help you. So a guy named Rick and a guy named Danny built these walls for me and these fabulous saloon doors I love. And if you notice, it's wide enough to fit a wheelchair through. And then here is going to be my bathtub. Now, I'm going to use the horse trough to begin with, but if I do go into a wheelchair, God forbid, then I can put a roll-in shower right here.
Right.
All of this will be lined in galvanized metal. Okay. I'm going to have a linen closet, little tiny linen closet with the water tank underneath it and the on-demand water heater attached to that. Over here will be the toilet, and here will be a closet. Now this big wash tub right here, that is my linen closet and my laundry thing now. It's going to, now this was my husband's idea. It's going to sit on the top of the bathtub on a shelf. It'll have a drain plug through it, and then the shower you know, faucets and everything like that,
Right.
I can use for the sink. So it was Rico's idea, so I don't have to have two different plumbing situations.
Instead of two faucets, you use one faucet
Yeah.
for both.
And then it's going to be on a swing arm that'll swing out here when it's time to take a shower.
Okay.
So it'll just swing out of the way, get in, take a shower, done, and swing it back into place.
Awesome.
And it's big enough that I can wash 2 of the 3 dogs, which is why I got such a big sink. Because
Okay.
I want to be able to wash the little dogs in there. Big dog's going to have to be washed in the bathtub.
Right, right.
So, anyway, and then this is where I could put a wheelchair lift if I need
You have
to.
a rear access door with steps currently, and you can see the water tank that she's cleared out of here so that we can walk through here.
Yeah. So basically, this is Fenix, and the reason I named her Fenix is because I lost everything in a fire, and she's up out of the ashes with me, bringing me into a new place in my life, and her name is Fenix. Now I spelled it. It's kind of funny. I didn't spell it Phoenix. I spelled it the Spanish way, which is Fenix, because I want to get a vanity plate.
Awesome, awesome.
And Fenix will fit on a vanity plate. So
Awesome. Well, Lainey, thank you for showing us your bus. Even
Oh,
though it is
thank
in the
you.
early rough stages, you guys keep following this woman and you will see as it progresses. We got a yellow jacket in here with us right now.
yeah, I think it came in through the emergency hatch.
That's pretty cool. It's nice that it has a bus hatch.
Yeah, and I think we're going to put a fan in there eventually.
Awesome, awesome.
Because I have a solar panel here and a solar panel in front of the air conditioning. And then a fan here. It would work. It would
Awesome.
be awesome.
Well, thanks for showing us your home.
Thanks. Thanks for coming along for the ride.
We'll see you
Peace.
guys on the next one.